Hello and welcome back to a child-friendly introduction to photography. My name is Mr. Wellsford and today we are going to look at composition, arranging your subject within the frame. And to extend that idea, if you've done that before or you know what we're doing, we are going to look at negative space. Okay, right, so we'll move straight into it. Let's get going. So obviously our aim is to take better pictures than we were before. Somehow our challenge is to capture a two-dimensional still rectangle, as known as a frame or an image, from a three-dimensional 360-degree moving world around us. We're going to use techniques that have been around for centuries and are proven to be very successful. You'll see why in a minute. This will help us find out what is pleasing to the human eye, and we can obviously approach taking photographs in a different way. Our success rate will increase. We'll have no fear of failure because that's kind of what we're going to be doing quite a bit of and getting better and better all the time. Okay, so we're going to look closely at the rule of thirds. Not necessarily a rule, it just seems to have proven to be successful a lot. So we're going to look at these particular lines I'm going to talk about, and they're going to improve your pictures and make them better to look at. So why do we even do this? What is the point? So the human eye naturally starts on one side or the other, maybe because we have two eyes and three-dimensional vision, I'm not sure. Scientists have tried to document on the subject to prove that point a long time ago. So we're going to try and take differently composed shots of the same subject and see. We're going to start off with a standard thoughtless photograph, and then we're going to be looking at different compositional elements afterwards. Here it is. This is the big one. This is the most important one, I think. The rule of thirds. Not necessarily a rule, but as I said, it's been proven to be successful. The frame is split up into 3 zones horizontally and 3 zones vertically, and where they intersect, those red circles they are impact points where our subject should be aiming to be sitting on some of those lines or intersections. Maybe either 2 of them or 1 of them, maybe 3 of them. We shall see, depending on what your aim is on that picture. List some examples. This is a photograph of a famous painting by Leonardo da Vinci. As you can see, it's split up into 3 distinct zones, and then 3 distinct vertical zones where there's something happened to left, right, and centre. So it's a very strong, well-composed image. And here's another example, another old picture, well, an earliest picture of humans. We have the eye naturally goes to the left third, and then it takes your eye through the street behind it up to the middle, sort of top third somewhere, really using the same technique. And here we have a slightly squarer image, but the same rules apply. Vincent van Gogh's boats. As you can see, the main boat at the front, the red one, is on 2 intersections, and your eye straight away gets drawn to that, and it takes your eye into the distance. Again, you can see clear, distinct zones, the beach, horizon and sky, and on the left we have lots of boats on the beach, obviously, then we have the shoreline, and then we have sort of the distance on the right. So it's a very clever composition, it works very well. Okay, we're going to vary it up a little bit with a different version of that same rule, but you're going to look at a diagonal line called the golden diagonal. Doesn't matter whether it goes from left to right or right to left, it doesn't matter. And where those perpendicular lines join, that's also on the rule of thirds as well. So it's sort of another idea, another compositional tool we can use. And here's some examples of that. The bridge on the left. As you can see, the photographer's used a diagonal composition, and the rule of thirds applies to the tower at the back of the bridge there. And the image on the right, the photographer's not trying to get the whole person in or concentrate too much. They've just gone in for good composition. The head's tilted forward on this person, so the diagonal rule looks really good on that very strong image. And here's some other pictures. The one on the left I've taken myself. The hill is a natural diagonal, so I put my friends on the diagonal and photographed a nice little snapshot there. And the one on the right is not one of mine, it's a surfer. Again, very strong image with the diagonal rule overlaid on top of that to show you how good it is. Right, first activity then, let's get going. We're going out and we're going to find something you want to photograph. Let's have a little think about what might be interesting to you. We're going to take what I would say a thoughtless picture. Just stand in front of it, look at it, press the button, subject in the middle, and then we're going to do it again, and we're going to use the rule of thirds. You will want to maybe fill the frame with the image, with the subject. Move in. You can either kneel down, lie down, stand next, change it to make the picture more interesting somehow. And then we're going to do the same thing, only you're going to maybe look at the diagonal rule, maybe tilt the camera slightly, or get at an angle, or look at a compositional angle, and maybe zoom in. It's up to you. And then you're going to just have a look through all those 3 types of pictures, deleting obviously the ones which weren't very good, and see what the difference is. See, whether it's improved your images, which I'm sure it has done. So we're going to find something else to photograph, different subjects, make it kind of a lot different from something before, some completely new idea, and do the same thing again. We're going to take a standard thoughtless image straight in front of it, recording what was there, and then we're going to maybe take a little bit of time thinking about our rule of thirds, fill the frame, and then we're going to do the same thing, use the golden diagonal. Some subjects fit one or the other of those compositional tools better, so one might be more successful than the other. Okay, and also you'll need a little variety for if you're doing something. For example, if you may not know what your project might require, like you might need it vertically or horizontally, so you might take one of each of those. Okay, so move on to negative space now, for those who understand what the compositional rules are. So as you might notice on websites, magazines, posters, adverts, the negative space is used as a great sort of photographic tool. Think about this as basically space around your subject. So it could be a texture, it could be a particular color, it could be completely blank, it could be anything. It'll be used normally for like this slideshow. I've used it to as a backdrop for my text, to put my message across somehow. Okay, here's some examples. The top one, negative space, a lovely picture of a mountaineer at the top of the place. And then obviously the person below on the escalator going down, lots of space there to either put text or just leave it as a strong image as it is. And then on the right, obviously you've got a magazine cover, lots of negative space there. And the composition, say where it says, welcome to America, that's on the rule of thirds line. So that works really well. So with each subject, we're going to try and take a selection of different angles for different uses. Think you might need a project where you need it vertically. You might have a project where you need it horizontally for different things. And also, it might be worth taking a range of images. For example, let's say you might be using for a website or a presentation or a little movie clip or whatever. So you're going to need a variety of different shots of the same thing. For another good way of explaining that is something you might see on eBay. You will have a main picture of whatever it was, and a few different angles covering the different perspectives, and also maybe photographing some details on it, going closer in, picking some shapes and patterns of what that is, but also you might need some space on the side for text and graphics and things like that. Okay, so that's kind of it. So did we look at things differently? What have we noticed? Can you see an improvement in what you maybe would have done and what you have managed to achieve? And then you can see, if you just take a few ideas on board, your pictures will be better than other people's. So there we go. You've got an advantage already. Well, they're more interesting pictures. So well done. That's the end of this module. You may want to think about anywhere else you can use these pictures. We just had a little practice now, but if you've got any interesting hobbies or sports or family interest or gardening or whatever whatever takes your fancy, you can apply the same rules to that. All right, thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.